This is the regular meeting of the Mobile City Council, Tuesday, June the 10th. Please stand for our invocation by Chaplain R.F. Bradley, Public Safety Chaplain, and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
There we go. Good morning. Shall we pray together? Lord, we thank you for this beautiful day in the city of Mobile. We ask your blessing continually upon our mayor, our city council, and all of the staff, oh God, who represent our great city. Would you bless them today as they conduct the business of the city? Give them wisdom, give them guidance, give them understanding, and give them mercy. We bless you and we thank you. In Jesus' name, amen. Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty, justice for all.
Roll call. President Small, Vice President Gregory.
Here.
Councilmember Penn.
Here.
Councilmember Carroll.
Here.
Councilmember Reynolds.
Here.
Councilmember Daves.
Here.
Councilmember Woods.
Here.
Statement of rules.
Good morning, everybody. Good to see you here. Rules for the council meetings are very simple. We just ask everyone to please turn off your electronic devices, either silence them or turn them off so that no one is disturbed. Anyone who wants to come to speak to the council should register before you enter the auditorium here. And when you are addressing the council, each speaker should give us their name and address. Each speaker gets 3 minutes to address the council, and then a bell will sound to indicate the end of 2 minutes. That's your warning sign. Then 1 minute is allowed for summarizing at that point. The second bell will indicate that your time has expired. To maintain decorum, there will be no undue applause and/or public outcry. When you are addressing the council, there is to be no personal address to any individual council member. All statements are to be made to the chair, who will then recognize any council member who wishes to respond at that point. Any person who desires to speak to the council on a non-agenda item must contact the city clerk's office no later than 2:00 p.m. on the Thursday prior to the council meeting. And then the subject that he or she wishes to address has to be identified. Any person attending the meeting who has not given prior notice to the clerk's office and wishes to speak to a non-agenda item will not be allowed to address the council. And the persons who are desiring to speak on agenda items must indicate what that resolution or ordinance or appeal public hearing is upon arrival when they sign in at the door to speak. Those are the rules. Thank you so much. All right, Ms. Carroll.
Approval of minutes of May 27th and June 3rd.
So move. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Communications from Mayor Stimson. Office.
Yeah, I bring greetings on behalf of Mayor Stimson, who's traveling today and could not be here. But I'll be making remarks on his behalf. On June 14th, the Mobile Museum of Art is hosting an afternoon of local shopping, live music, food trucks, and art activities, and free admission to the museum. Local vendors with handmade jewelry, pottery, self-care products, and more will also be in attendance. Family and children can also create an art together in the education wing of the museum. And it's a great opportunity to support small businesses and explore the Museum of Art's great exhibits at no cost. The Public Safety Community Job Fair is being hosted by the city on Saturday, June 28th at Figures Community Center. It's a joint effort by our Public Safety, Office of Resilience, and District 1 City Councilman Corey Penn. Stable jobs and career opportunities are essential to reducing crime, supporting re-entry, and creating a safer Mobile. We're still looking for partnerships with interested technical schools, career programs, and local businesses. Any business looking to get involved to reserve a space can find more information at the City of Mobile Public Safety social media page. Parks and Recreation Department and Feeding the Gulf Coast is providing free healthy meals to kids this summer. This will go on through August the 1st. Kids ages 2 to 18 can eat lunch for free Monday through Friday from noon to 1 p.m. at 12 community centers across Mobile. One way our staff is working to keep kids healthy, active, and supported while school is out this summer. Thanks to Feeding the Gulf Coast and all of the Mobile Parks and Rec staff for making this happen. For a list of participating community centers, visit the Mobile Parks and Recs Department social media pages or the cityofmobile.org Parks and Rec. I'm going to call on Chad Collins, who is going to recognize the Public Works Employee of the Month for June.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the council, administration, and citizens in attendance. It's an honor for me to bring to the forefront Ms. Tanya Gullett. Normally I freestyle this because, I know my staff pretty well, but it's really important because a lot of these words in this narrative came from the staff who nominated Ms. Gullett. So I think it's important that I read so I don't miss anything. Tanya Gullett exemplifies what it means to be a dedicated, impactful public servant. As a facility supervisor at Hope Community Senior, Tanya consistently exceeds expectations through her tireless commitment, leadership, and unwavering support for her team, community, and department. Tanya brings an exceptional blend of integrity, empathy, and strong work ethic to everything she does. She is a natural leader, stepping up in times of challenge, collaborating across departments, and setting a positive example for staff and community members alike. Known for her cheerful attitude and proactive approach, Tanya's willingness to take on difficult tasks with determination and grace, always delivering with excellence. Tanya's analytical mindset, problem-solving skills, and genuine care for her colleagues and community makes her a valued leader and indispensable part of Hope Community Center. She's dependable, adaptive, and always willing to go an extra mile with a smile. We are proud to recognize Tanya Gullett for her outstanding service, leadership, and incredible example she sets every day. I'd like to again, Ms. Tanya Gullett.
Madam President, that'll conclude remarks from the mayor.
Okay, we had mentioned having Scott or you, someone to respond to one of the items on the agenda regarding the Civic Center. Did you want to do that now, or do you want to wait?
I can go ahead and
Okay.
and address what I think a lot of people maybe mistakenly thinks is a budget overrun of some sort, but is actually not. We're on budget as far as the parking deck goes, but these are change orders to add to the original scope of the project. We're going to do some sidewalk to make some of the sidewalks contiguous with the existing sidewalks on Claiborne Street. There's an access road that came in from Canal Street that needed to connect to the garage. That was not in the original contract. It would have been in the construction contract. But in order to move it up on the timeline and get the core moved in, we went ahead and added it to the parking deck contract. You heard us also move monies to put in camera systems in the parking deck. That was not in the original scope of the contract that was awarded. It was added on in order to get security in there. We're also adding on some of the fire alarm systems and fire suppression systems. And there is some painting going on that was not in the original scope. So the money's being moved. Some of it, 150,000 of it was already in a contingency fund for marketing for the deck. And so that money was already there. And then there's another 150 being moved from capital reserve. And it's just to complete work that was not in the original scope. So I'll reiterate that the parking deck itself, the arena, everything is on budget. We're just moving some of these items forward that were not in the original scope and may have been added to the construction contract.
Okay. Just so that everyone knows, the Chief of Staff is referring to a resolution that is on the agenda today for the first read, and it deals with some capital improvement reserves being transferred. So thank you, appreciate that.
Yeah, and again, it's on budget, and these are items, punch list items that we just need to correct before we move on with construction.
Okay, thank you.
Adoption of the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Appeals, we have requests for a waive of the noise ordinance on July the 18th and July 19th in Tricentennial Park, October 26th in Trinity Gardens Park, June 21st, Mamka Drive, June 28th on Colonial Court, July the 5th on North Pine Street, October 11th in Mardi Gras Park, July 19th in the parking lot of Checkers on DIP, July the 20th in Tremere Park, October the 10th, November 14th, and December 12th on North Jackson Street, September 27th in Langen Park, and June 14th in Langen Park.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? I actually have one, Ms. Carroll, on the request for the September 27th at Langen Park. I was reminded that dredging at Langen Park will probably be going on at that time, and we need to take a look at that one before we approve. Can we lay that over for a week?
I'll read it second, separately.
Okay. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Request for waive the noise ordinance on September 27th at Langen Park.
Move to lay over for 1 week.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Public hearings. Today is a public hearing to consider rezoning property located at 2005 Old Bay Front Drive and 4182 Commanders Drive from R1 to I2.
These are public hearings. If anyone is in the audience who would like to speak to either one of these, you may come down to the podium. Oh, okay, there's only just the one, sorry. If anybody would like to speak to that one, please come down to the podium. Okay, with that then, the public hearing is closed.
Public hearing to amend the Unified Development Code by adding Article 15, Historic Avenue Overlay.
Again, this is a public hearing. If anyone would like to speak to this, please come to the podium and give us your name and address.
Thank you. Reggie Hill is my name. I'll be very brief about this. I'm hoping that we can send this to the entitlement committee to have some further discussion. We know that there's a lot of uncertainty with the UDC, and we're seeing this here. We know as well after annexation and redistricting, there is a plan, which may not be spoken here publicly, but to reroute individuals to alter the voting population in this district and in this area. We've seen where there have been overlays added to particular components of District 2 that have not really been, I would say, examined or utilized as they were designed. And so this is something that we should look at. I imagine that there are a lot of members of the public, particularly in this community, who are unaware about how this overlay component, I would say, is facilitated, nor are they aware of what this is on the agenda today. And also, when we click on this this item, there's not a lot of detailed information. So if we could, I'm just asking that we can send this and other matters of the UDC back to the entitlement committee, or maybe even a committee of the whole, so that we can get some more clarity and then kind of iron out some of the kinks that are in this. Because again, it seems as if there is a push to reroute individuals back to this area, and so they're going to potentially take over properties, seize land to that extent, to kind of reverse what was done with the annexation and the census and what we're seeing with redistricting. So while there may be something here titled different that's written, a lot of times the stuff that is written is not what we follow through on. So again, I'm asking that we can have this sent back to the entitlement committee, and so we can iron out those kinks. Thanks for yielding the floor.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Good morning, Sabrina Mass. Yes, I just want to make a statement, if I may. So this UDC is definitely important and critical to the citizens of Mobile, the entire city of Mobile. And I say that because, you know, I found myself in a situation, as you guys know, where this apartment complex they built on government, they had to come through my yard and tear up my front yard, take out my whole driveway and my backyard. And I have a beautiful yard that I'm very proud of. So that put me in a state of stress because our neighbors and myself knew nothing about this project. It was addressed a year ago, over a year ago. That's why I was kicked off Public Safety Committee, by the way, because of my situation that I stood up for. But you know, I would say this, the thing about it is, I should be able to come to the city council, to the elected officials, to talk about this, to address it without it being a chaotic situation. But the developers have worked with me so greatly, consistently, communicated with me and my neighbors on a very high level. And matter of fact, they have actually made my yard look better than it did before. So that says a lot. We can't come to our elected officials as citizens and taxpayers about our properties without it being chaotic. So when you're not letting the people know what's happening in their neighborhoods and their districts, it's very upsetting. People coming into your private yards where you're private. I'm a very private person. tearing down your trees, cutting down 200-year-old trees, destroying your property. Do you not understand how that impacts the citizens, as though we have no rights to our properties where we pay bills, where we're trying to be a law-abiding citizen, and then people are coming in just tearing up your community? And then it makes me think, are they going to West Mobile and doing these taxes, or is it just the black districts? Because myself, I can live anywhere I want to live. Me and my husband can live anywhere we choose to live. We choose to live amongst our community, our citizens, our people. But I feel like this: you're going to respect every district, no matter if it's a poor community, a middle class, or a very elite community. We all should be treated the same. So when you're looking at this UDC code, consider those things, please.
Yeah, thank you. Anyone else?
Madam President, if
Mr.
there's
Carroll?
no one else, I don't even know where to begin to make sure that there's clarity here so that we can cut through all of the misinformation. First of all, let me say that I helped write the Avenue overlay for the UDC to make corrections to the UDC that disturbed the original properties and the ability for homeowners to recreate the properties and build on the small lots that they have or they had that were in the bottom, the campground. So that was the first thing. The second thing is that the new overlay is a major part of the Bring Back the Avenue program. That is a vision of mine that also includes revitalization in the neighborhood, which I am proud to announce that on June 24th, we will have our first groundbreaking of the first of 5 houses, but then the first of 34 homes that are going to be affordable in that neighborhood. Now, what the Avenue overlay allows for is for us to build on smaller lots, to be able to get affordable housing in there, to also allow us to do combined housing in condos side by side. It allows 0 lot lines. It allows 0 property lines. It allows us to do all the things that they were able to do in that community before the UDC messed it up. So in essence, we went back and we corrected the things that the UDC did not allow for that were already there in these neighborhoods that prevent concentration of homes in neighborhoods of underserved areas. So this is a good thing that we're doing. It's not something that we're trying to, let me use the word, where it's not something where the city of Mobile is trying to gentrify an area. It is something where we're trying to encourage people to rebuild, to revitalize their properties and able to build on the properties that they have and already have there that were limited because of what the UDC did when it narrowed down the lot size. So when we're talking about the corrections to the UDC with the Avenue overlay, then all we're doing is correcting the things that were there and making it easier for families that live there to make the corrections to their properties that are already there. So, Ms. Vice President, I appreciate the time. For anyone that wants more detail on this in the community, other than those that already think they know all the details to this, please reach out and call me. We'll be glad to send you the written copy of the Avenue overlay and what's been changed in the UDC so that you can gladly see it. It's been advertised now for more than 30 days for everybody to see it and understand the changes. But when it comes to the campground in the bottom, get ready, because the Avenue project is coming and it will be revitalized. And we're going to do everything that we can to revitalize that area, and we're going to do everything that we can to stabilize it. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Anyone else? All right, Ms. Carroll?
Did you close the
Pardon me?
hearing? Close the hearing.
Oh, I'm sorry. The hearing is closed since no one else has come down to the podium to speak. Thank you.
Presentation of petitions and other communications to the council. Marcus Mitchell.
Good morning, council members. My name is Marcus Mitchell, Public Relations Officer for Mobile Public Library. Just want to inform you that the Library Board of Trustees has announced a new director. She is Ms. Jeray Hall. So please welcome Ms. Jeray Hall as the new director for the Mobile Public Library System.
Welcome.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning. I am so happy to be here and definitely in this beautiful new capacity in serving communities across Mobile. To our mayor, our chief, and to the council, I just say hello. And we are down the street and we are happy and open and here to serve. I believe that you've been given a folder that has a little information about me and my background, but the thing that I'm most proud of are my roots here, starting at the University of South Alabama many, many years ago. And it feels like home, coming back to be able to serve here and to continue the service that was here. I want to acknowledge a couple of things really quickly. First, the excellent job of my executive team, Mr. Marcus Mitchell and his team, in giving information to the community about programs and services that we have. That is available to you in the packet. We are extremely excited about the kickoff and summer reading and all of the activities in the library that you can find in the documents in front of you or online for those who don't have that. And I also want to acknowledge the interim director prior to me being appointed, Ms. Geraldine Wells, who kept our branch locations moving during the search process and continue to work to collaborate services and give us the best, which is what we deserve. So thank you again for this moment, and I look forward to meeting you and working with you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Rodney Toomer.
Good morning.
Morning.
My name is Rodney Toomer, 1202 Navico Road, Mobile, Alabama, 36605. I want to make sure everyone gets one of these pieces of paper. As you know, I'm a program director at Inner City Mission, Taylor Park. I'm also the program director of Opportunities for Entertainers nonprofit. I'm also a detention officer at Strickland Youth Center for 3 years. What I'd like to do now, if I have the permission to take my 2 minutes and play a recording of a young man that's a high risk in the streets. I don't know if this ever been told before, it's no cursing, but I would like everyone to know, because sometimes we as adults, we suffer from active listening syndrome, where we think we know everything and we subject ourselves to just not listening to other people that might not have a master or a doctor's degree. But I'd like to let you hear something real quick.
The only way you can get a cure from a disease is from the disease itself. I come from the streets. The only thing that's gonna save the streets is something that come from it. I used to be a monster. I didn't know what a man was, because when now, when my brother got shot 56 times with an AK-47, and they left him out in the rain for 4 hours in front of my mama. Everybody that lost some. Pain, lack is what breed killers. Lack of resources. Boy, we don't know about going to get no job and the refrigerator empty. And we 14 years old and can't go get no job to pay that bill, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want to know how to help us, man? You know what I'm talking about? Help heal this pain, man. Because this pain sits so deep and it'll create a monster, man. And y'all hear us out here saying we on demon time and them little boys be dead serious until the devil show up. I'm 5'5" in physical stature, but I'm 7'4" in spirit. You know what I'm talking about? What's going to change this environment, man, is us changing our mind. Because we manifest what's in our mind because we've been given behavioral scripts. When I look at y'all, I see me. All right. When y'all look at me, y'all see y'all, because we're a mirror reflection of each other. And what we have in common is the struggle. And struggle is every part of life, man. You see what I'm saying? Y'all looking at a man that died inside. Y'all want to see the living dead. You looking at it. The only reason I'm here is because God got me here. I'm supposed to been on death row. But he saved me. And I'm telling y'all this from the perspective of a real hitter. That's what we're going to stop at right there, man. They say we can't stand together for nothing. That's a lie. I come from Crip background, man. We stand together neck until somebody asks me, why would you be willing to die for a stranger who you don't know because of a blue color we have in common rather than live your life for them babies that you helped created, man? I'm just not getting to know my children, man. You hear me? Y'all daddy could be me if he ain't dead already. My daddy was never there. He chose the streets over us. My mama sold her body to put food on the table, but I ain't see her as no hoe. I saw my mama, that part.
This is what I hear every day. These are the young men that I hear every day that we want to put in an arena and let them kill each other. No matter how many town halls, community meetings you have, you will never get the answer until you have the problem at the table. For our elected officials, how many community meetings or town hall meetings have you done in Strickland Youth Center with the young men that are having the problems? See, I'm a young man that had trauma too, grew up in a domestic violence household. And I carried that trauma for 35, 40 years, and I medicated myself over and over again till I became numb. And when you become numb, you don't care anymore. And a lot of them have went on and they're carrying that trauma right now. I've evolved. I turned 59 last week, and I've been doing this since I was 30. And I know that we have a lot of issues going on with violence. The younger me would have came up here and said, it's your fault, it's your fault, it's your fault. We can't do that no more. It's enough to go around for everybody. But what are we gonna do now? So what I did, I offer solutions. And I know I don't have much time, but I would like to just read a couple of them. The most important one, I think, is the unspoken trauma and mental health struggles. What I see, many young people are carrying pain they never talk about. I hear it in their stories and I see it in their eyes at my events. What are solutions? We need to have more counselors in schools and safe spaces for kids to talk. Let's train adults, teachers, and coaches, even DJs like me, to spot the signs and help them.
Hey, hang on one second. Your time has expired, so
Sir,
anyone?
I would like to extend a minute.
Okay, go ahead.
Man, thank you so much. The times when we see a child.
Right, wait a minute. Madam Vice President, I'd like to hear every bit of it. In lieu of what we've been going through in this city with gun violence and violence in youth, there should be an outcry. We should hear solutions. We just had a shooting at the Sanger. Last weekend, we had a shooting on Ross Street where one kid shot his mother to death and the brother came in and shot the kid. There's an uproar and a need for a change. And if we don't start listening for a change, and if we don't start to stop the way that we've been doing it and find something else to do, then we need to do something else. So I'm not going to cut him off. I'm going to allow him to speak today.
All right,
No,
counsel.
it's a violation of the rules. It will take a unanimous vote of the city council to approve a change in the rules.
Madam Vice President,
Yes, sir, Mr.
it's
Penn.
very simple. I can't ask Mr. Toomer questions. And with that, Mr. Toomer, you gave us all this information. I would like to hear this whole paragraph, 2, 3, 4, 5, and can you please finish the rest? Because I want to understand more knowledge about what you just shared with us.
I would say what I see is too many kids have nowhere to go after school. When I was that age, we had music community. It kept me out of trouble. Solutions are, let's open up more after-school programs and keep community centers open a little later. I even love to volunteer my DJing and my radio skills just to give them something that's interesting for them to hear. The unspoken trauma, when we see children that go to school and they get suspended because they've acted out in school, we don't have counselors that can take them in another room and I found out that child acted out because he had to get up at 3 a.m. because it was the domestic violence dispute in his house, and he had to go stay at his grandmama's house where he only got to sleep at 5 o'clock. So now he just woke up at 6 o'clock to come to school. So now he's not in the right frame of mind because he just went through trauma. What I see is a talented kids who want to work but don't know where to start. Some end up making bad choices just to get by. Solutions. The city can partner with local businesses, radio stations, community leaders like me to create summer jobs. When I was that age, We had JTPA. We had junior trainer. I worked at the graveyard cutting grass. But guess what? When I got that check and I had money in my pocket, it changed my thinking. When I was able to open up a bank account, it changed my thinking. I felt pride. I felt like, yeah, this is something that I know what I'm doing. I was able to give my mother some money, even though she didn't want it, but I felt like I was contributing. What I see is many young people tell me they're scared of the police. The mistrust keeps from asking for help when they need it most. Solution, let's build relationships, even organize events where police and youth can connect through music, sports, and honest conversations. Bill X used to have the police against the community. Maysville told me we used to actually communicate and have fun. And then they'll see that it's a human side to police. It ain't just I'm coming over here and I'm putting the law down. The lack of positive role models. Kids need to see people who look like them succeeding. When I DJ at schools, I see how much it means for them to hear my story. Let's support mentorship programs and bring more Black professionals, artists, and leaders, and those in schools and community events. They need to see us, doctors, lawyers, nurses. They need to see it all. And I'm ready to help lead these changes with city support. We can help our youth. This is just a small thing, a small summarization. I would like to email you something in a broader plan, but I know that it works because I work at Strickland Youth Center and I deal with these children every single day. And a lot of them got heartbreaking stories, but they're dealing with trauma that has never been checked. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Penn?
Thank you so much, Mr. Toomer, for coming down. You know, hearing those stories, you asked a question. I heard those same stories. I had the opportunity to just recently talk to some of the students recently, some of the kids at Strickland. I also been a part of prison ministry. And so for me, we have to do whatever we can as a community in the city to make sure they get those resources. You have submitted some great ideas, and I want to work with you in my district. The resources that I have, I believe that we can implement certain things already, and we can expand it, and we can develop. You said something very powerful, that we have to stop pointing fingers at each other, and we have to move together as a unit. And right now, we haven't been seeing that. We've been seeing everybody trying to do things in silos, and we continue to see things go down in our community. Until we come to a place where we do the things that Mr. Toomer said, come back, strategize, put a lot of these things in place, then we're going to continue to see the same thing. It's ridiculous to continue to do the same thing and get the same results. If you want to see some change, you got to do something new. And I believe that some of these ideas, working with the administration, and it's some things that's in place, but I believe that we can expand it. And we can work with people like yourself in the community because they recognize you, they see you, they trust you. And I believe that we can move forward together. So thank you so much for sharing it. I don't take this lightly. You'll be hearing from me. And I want to work together, and I'll reach out to the administration and figure out what things that we already have in place, what funds and resources where we can expand and implement certain things that you have presented today. Thank you so much for coming down.
Madam President, Vice
Mr. Carroll?
President, I'm in complete agreement. DJ Roski, what I would suggest is send me a letter, send Corey a letter, send CJ a letter. I'd send one to everyone up here. But I'm going to tell you that over the last 2 weeks, I have been preaching that there needs to be a new direction. I mean, we've been talking too long. We've got to change the approach. I'm going to commit resources to it right now. And I'm going to tell Corey that I'm going to commit the first $5,000 to some type of program for it. Write me the letter, ask me for that $5,000. I will find it from somewhere, even if I've got to raise it in the community. But we need to do this, and I'm in, all in. Let's move the arrow in a different direction.
Anybody else?
Yes, please.
Mr. Daves?
Mr. Toomer, I appreciate your coming down here today, and I've had a chance to look over what you've written, and there you make some very strong points. What I wanted to make clear was when I had that little altercation a few minutes ago, it was not directed at you. We have rules for how we operate these meetings, and we either live by the rules or we don't. And no one member can waive the rules. It requires the entire city council to waive the rules. So my objection was not related to you being here or what you said. It was merely a reminder that we have to live by our own rules. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Yep, Madam Vice President.
Mr. Woods?
Thank you for coming down. Greatly appreciate it. This is, and with Councilmember Penn, I think he can agree. A lot of times, I think you are right. The active listening syndrome, that's a big issue. Friday afternoon, I had the opportunity to check out USA Health's Project Inspire program. And kind of just the gist of it is they take at-risk youth, bring them in, and they use art and to work on kind of healing the exact same thing you're talking about, the trauma, addressing the trauma. And one of the coolest things is, I could basically walk through your list here and I can check off. They had an active listening opportunity where the kids sat in a circle and they talked about the problems that they were facing. These problems, the safe place after school, not enough job opportunities, positive role models. And while they were doing that, they had an artist paint what they were saying, and not just one time, but multiple times. And all of this is exactly was worked into the painting. And it was very impressive, the fact that, again, we do have ALS, sometimes active listening syndrome. It was nice to be able to look at a visual picture and really check these exact same things. So thank you for coming down and addressing these. I don't think that you're a voice crying in the wilderness, because exactly what you said was exactly how Project Inspire is trying to tackle it as well. So thank you, and I'm look forward to working with the administration and my colleagues to try to address some of these issues.
Anybody else? Thank you, Mr. Toomer. Appreciate it. Everything that you all do. Opportunity for Entertainers, of course, is a great program that we all contribute to. So thank you for coming and for just being a part of this and being a part of what the answer can be, and we hope will be. So thank you. All right. Ms. Carroll?
William Perriman, Jr.
He's not here.
He's not here? Okay.
No.
Sabrina Mass.
Excuse me. Thank you, Roski. Y'all gotta forgive me today because I'm in a rare mental form right now. Gun violence. Sometimes you have to just come to the podium of truth. See, me, myself, Roski hit on some stuff today. See, I've been a victim of gun violence. I was shot in 1998. I have a gunshot wound in the back of my neck. I have scars on my shoulder. I have scars under my arm, cuts on my leg. I, too, used to be a part of a Crip in Texas. I've gotten shot, and I've shot it. Sometimes when people wonder why you turn out to be so strong, it's because we have been through things in life. I grew up in a children's home, Texas, Buckner's Children's Home. This gun violence is really traumatizing. These children and these families are people that we happen to know. I changed my life because I had my own children. And I had a judge in Texas that seen my potential. And he told me the last time I saw him in court, I had 3 choices: the Texas Department of Corrections, military, or college. I chose not to go to prison. So I've been to jail. I don't have a record, but I've been to jail. I'm sick and tired of this gun violence because I could be somewhere dead too. When are people going to start asking people, who are you? What is it that you want? What is you're trying to accomplish out here? I come down here because I care. I care about the people. I care about the city. I have children myself. I shouldn't have to be laying in my bed nor anybody else wondering if a gunshot is going to come through our house. Is it going to kill our children?
Ms. Master, time is up.
Thank you.
Reggie Hill.
Thank you, Madam City Clerk. To the citizens and stakeholders of Mobile, greetings. Reggie Hill is my name. I rise today to continue a conversation with the Mobile City political courtesans and their 10th floor souteneur regarding pertinent city business which impacts the quality of life for all Mobilians. For far too long, the decisions that have been made here have not reflected realistic necessity, but instead have enabled ideological justification to be prostituted around as advancement and progress for our city. This could not be further from the truth. Unfortunately, those who suffer the most from such acts are those who are less affluent. People like Ms. Trotter and those thousands that were displaced from public housing are placed on the back burner for failed airport gambles and senseless arena projects. And to be clear, this does not eliminate those more well off from that same suffering, as a pointless occupancy tax was imposed upon our local businesses to foot a bill for debt in which we didn't have to incur. But when an administration is reckless and the legislative body is a bunch of rubber stamps, what do? Last week, there was a plethora of misleading statements regarding the Mobile Civic Center presented from this dais. Let me share something with you all.
Mr. Hill, hang on one second. You signed in
Please stop my time.
you stop his time. You signed in to speak about public safety, bid regulations, and economic development. Would you stick to those topics, please?
As I have to say so many times week after week, Ms. Gregory, I am speaking to the topic.
No,
I am on the topic.
You're very broad in your statements, so please stick to these topics that you signed in to speak about.
I only speak on the topics that I signed up for. If I may continue, Ms. Gregory.
Start his time again.
Okay, so if we look at section 44-80B, subsections 5 through 6 of said Mobile City Code, replacement construction plans for the site in question, amounts expanded upon such plans and the dates of such expenditures. B6, financial proof of the ability to complete the replacement project, which may include, but not limited to, a performance bond, et cetera, et cetera. Mr. Carroll insisted that the City of Mobile was awarded a certificate of appropriateness to abolish the Mobile Civic Center in an historic district. Yet, according to section 44-80B, subsections 5 through 6 of the Mobile City Code, we needed a completed site plan and proof of funding to grant such a certificate. But based on agenda item 09-814 today, we still don't have a completed plan or proof that the money is there. And regardless of how much is in the coffer, anytime we have a change order to add more money, we have increased the original bid and the projected cost you presented to the taxpayer. Moving on for now. Not too long ago, Mr. Jackson provided a misleading report on MPD suggesting that crime was down while omitting that homicide had increased. I followed up with the saying that the summer was just around the corner. How long will we tout about coming together while intentionally ostracizing certain entities with data-proven solutions from being at the table? How long will we keep awarding performance contracts and distributing discretionary funds to agencies that do not yield the results we need, simply because these are your friends and those who won't challenge you to do your best? How long will we waste funds on irrelevant endeavors while places like Crawford Park have lopsided basketball goals and one water fountain that does not work? Where is our focus? Time will not allow a serious presentation, plus we have interruptions too often on these vital matters concerning Mobilians. This week we need serious clarity on what has been happening. Next week we'll place additional emphasis on the solution. Ideas that have been petitioned before. Hopefully this time something you won't ignore. Thanks for yielding the floor.
Thank you. Ms. Carroll?
CIP resolutions held over. 09779, transfer funds from capital projects, signal detection citywide to grant project traffic signal upgrades on state and local routes. 21780, authorized contract with Harwell and Company for preparation of site work at Pine Hill Recycling Center.
So moved.
Second.
Is there a second?
Yes.
Mr. Woods, okay. All in, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Resolution held over. 01782, authorized agreement with Crowder Gulf to provide post-disaster debris removal services. 08784, approved purchase order to Next Gen Asset Management for software programming to integrate fuel management software. 21788, authorized grant with Emerson Roofing for 311 call center re-roofing. 01790, authorized agreement with Triple A United States Inc. and Mobile County for assistance in funding a workforce training facility.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Ordinances being introduced, 64029 through 64030.
By council rules, items will lay over 1 week.
Consent resolutions being introduced, 0379.
Hang on one second. Hang on one second. Ms. Mass and Mr. Hill, please just no conversations. I can hear you up here. So can they, and he's asking you to keep the conversation down. We appreciate that. Thank you. All right, Ms. Lambert.
Consent resolutions being introduced, 03792 through 03821.
Move to waive the rules for immediate consideration of these items.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
03792, reappoint Haley Van Antwerp to the Mobile Museum of Art Board. 09793, transfer funds from District 2 discretionary account to Parks and Recreation to assist with the Learning Tree basketball tournament. 09794, transfer funds from District 5 discretionary capital account to grants project GTAP BOS to assist with Village of Spring Hill sidewalks. 27795 and 796 to 797 are giving notice of election of municipal officers and establish voting center location. 2796, appoint Lisa C. Lambert as chief election officer for the 2025 municipal election. And 797 is approve and pay for Lisa C. Lambert to serve as the absentee election manager for the 2025 municipal election. 31798, authorize the mayor to apply, accept, and receive a grant from the Pipeline and Hazardous Materials Safety Administration for the fiscal year 2025 Pipeline Emergency Response Grant. 6799 and 6800 are approving award of special bonus to the city clerk's office employee of the month and the public works employee of the month. 60, 801, 802, 80, and 803 are determining appropriations to youth on the winning side, opportunities for entertainment, Marching Cougars Band serve a public purpose and approve payment. 03821, confirm the appointment of Ken Qualheim to the Mobile Housing Authority Board.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Resolutions being introduced, 01804 through 01820.
Move to waive the rules for immediate consideration of items 08805, 08806, 08809, and 01819. The remainder to lay over 1 week pursuant to council rules.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
08805, approved purchase order to Business Oriented Software Solutions for subscription to incident reporting and management software. 08806, approved purchase order to Carrier Corporation for rooftop climate unit for the cruise terminal. 08809, approved purchase order to the Green Simmons Company for installation of fencing and gates at Hertel Street parking area. 01819, authorize amendment number 2 to professional program management services agreement with Volkert.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Call for public hearings, 41818, call for public hearing to consider rezoning property located at 720 Museum Drive from R1 to B2, scheduled July 15th.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Announcements.
Start on my right with Councilman Woods.
No announcements.
All right, Councilman Carroll.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. As I alluded to earlier today, after 2 years of hard work, after 2 years of finding a way to write a housing improvement plan for the city that involves affordable housing, attainable housing, and housing in underserved neighborhoods. After looking for countless ways to revitalize the campground and the avenue and the bottom, after partnering with the county and many other people, we are finally here. We have finally gotten to the point to where we can actually start the process of revitalization. On June 24th, we will have our first groundbreaking for the first of 5 houses in a cluster of area. The first one will be at the corner of State and Congress. And believe it or not, we have 5 now, 15 that we're clearing, and another 17 that are in the hopper. So we actually have 35 properties that we are now looking to do affordable and attainable housing in the campground and to move that process forward. That groundbreaking will be on June 24th, and you will hear me continuing to make this announcement because this is an effort that every council member before me has tried. Now, on top of that, this same program, once we prove it vital, can be used all over the city of Mobile, in every underserved neighborhood that we have, and even in neighborhoods that aren't underserved when it comes to affordable housing and revitalization. I am proud to announce it. June 24th. Please, everyone come out. The announcements will show up on our Facebook page starting next week. It'll show up on my city Facebook page next week. It'll show up in our newsletters. It'll show up everywhere. I encourage you to please come out because this is a huge undertask that between myself, Jamie Roberts' department, the mayor, the administration, and even this council, because we went through several iterations of this ordinance in trying to get this funding to where we could be and to where we could now do and revitalize neighborhoods. So I'm glad, again, June 24th. Also coming soon, other programs that we have for these same areas, and I look forward to announcing those also. But again, June 24th. It's been a long time coming. Let's revitalize the avenue. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. And Mr. Daves? Councilman Penn?
Thank you, Madam Vice President. This past week, had an opportunity to attend the Gulf Coast Challenge press conference at Ladd Stadium. Excited to have Jackson State, Alabama A&M coming back to the city of Mobile. The head coach, both head coaches, the ADs were there. And I'm also excited that they have a new opportunity that they will be sharing from a musical side very soon. And so thank you to everyone that made that happen. Also, this past week was at the press conference for the Mobile NAACP Project Wear Orange rally. And then I attended the Project Aspire Arts for Justice luncheon. My colleague, Councilman Wood, was there as well. And one of the things that was shared, it was amazing. Everything Mr. Toomer talked about, those young people wrote and said what was seen in their community. And I'm not sure if that art, Aspire Art is still out here in the gallery, but if you can go out, if it's still there, you can read their comments or things that they say is the issue in their community. And it's almost word for word what Mr. Toomer spoke about. And these are from the kids that have experienced the challenges in our community. And that let me know that we have some work to do. This past weekend, most of you all know that I have called for 1,000 men to get active and engaged in our community. And it's not stopping. It wasn't just a call. And what I was so excited about this past week, I got a phone call, and it was community-led. And it was no one posting on social media. but we met downtown. And it was a lot of people down here. And our goal is still pushing 1,000 men. But some ladies got behind and they said they're calling for 1,000 women. And we all met downtown, and we will continue the progress. We're going to continue pushing that narrative that we would like everyone being actively and engaged. And so this is not just for this moment. This is what we want to see. We want this to become a lifestyle in our community and the city of Mobile. And so with that being said, I was excited. I got another phone call from a young man named Jahai Urban. This week, this Saturday, he is doing a Father Day photo shoot, and he is bringing men together at 5:30, and I will be supporting that initiative. And that's another goal in talking to our men in the community. And they asking to bring the kids to do a photo shoot at 5:30. It's no cost to you all, but just come out and just show unity and have conversation, because it's people that we might not know that we can build relationships with. So come out at 5:30 this Saturday at the RSA Tower. I will be present. And then too, I had a busy weekend. I also helped support Play for Two, Stop the Violence at the Dodge Community Center, hosted by a professional athlete from the Trinity Gardens community. And that's what it's about, guys. Whatever position you in, take a stand. If you're a coach, whatever it is, if you're a DJ, whatever it is, you can take a stand. And she's a basketball player, and the gym was filled with young people who want to create change. And so I want to thank Ms. Bradford for putting this great event on. And so I also want to give some upcoming events. Saturday, June the 28th, we will have a community fair. I want to thank the administration for supporting me in this initiative. We understand that jobs reflect a proactive strategies to build safer neighborhoods, and we need to invest in our community. And so we will have that job fair, community career fair at the Dodge Community Center at 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. And it's not just for District 1. It's for anybody in the city to come out and be a part of that on June 28th. And then I'm also, I know I'm kind of long-winded, but the last one I would like to share is I'm doing whatever I can to work with young people. So I was glad to announce it's called Convo with Corey. We're inviting teenagers to be actively engaged with this process. You will hear more information coming out, but if you're a teen, if you're a high school teenager, you will receive information. You can shadow me here at 8 o'clock. You can come. I will talk to you before a pre-council meeting. You can stay for pre-council. I'll talk to you after. Any questions you have, I'm going to keep you engaged. We're going to build relationships, and it's called Convo with Corey. More information is coming soon, and you can participate this summer. Thank you, Madam Vice President.
All right, thank you. And Councilman Reynolds. All right. In District 7, I just want to reiterate what the Chief of Staff announced about the vendors market. That's at the Mobile Museum of Art on Saturday. It will be free admission, open house, vendors there from 3 until 6. So come on out and enjoy that. It's always a great experience there and a lot of different local arts and crafts. I attended the Gulf Coast Challenge News Conference to hear about the upcoming game and other activities that are surrounding that week when the game is played. Very exciting. They are doing a terrific job and bringing in a lot of people to the city of Mobile and surrounding areas who certainly help pay our sales taxes and everything else, because they come and they spend a lot of money and they get to know what's going on in the city of Mobile. And we appreciate all that they are doing to bring this game to us. And also on Saturday, Paddle in the Park was a big success. Thank you so much to all the Parks and Rec Department and all the other volunteers who came out to make this possible. Baykeeper was also out there working with the kayaks. Thank you for everything you did. And it was a great turnout. A lot of folks got a chance to get on a kayak, many for the first time, and enjoy a little bit of time out on the water. So thank you for that. This evening, I'll be meeting with the Country Club Village Association in their clubhouse. We'll be talking to the neighbors out there about ideas and concepts and what they want to see for a new playground that is coming. The playground that is there now was spearheaded by the community. been there about 25, 26 years. And over the years, of course, we've made repairs, we've made replacements, things like that. But as in all things, sometimes it gets to a point where you really just have to start fresh with something new. So we're getting ideas from the community about what they would like to see before we go any further. But the good news is that we've got funding to make it happen, and we want to hear from them. We'll be there this evening starting at 6 o'clock in their clubhouse. So everyone in the Country Club Village area has received notice about the meeting, and we expect a good crowd. All right. Anybody else? Anybody? All right.
Motion to adjourn.
All